Here we are, Abe Cast Iron Balls, a podcast about sports immediately interrupted by children.
Keep asking me that.
I've never seen it.
Yeah,
The Parent Trap, which Parent Trap? What year? It's a Parent Trap from back in the 70s that I remember.
Is Parent Trap the one with Lindsay Lohan?
I think they remade it with Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah.
Okay. So who's the 70s one? Who's
Haley Mills.
Okay, I've never seen that.
It's good.
Let's try this again. Here we are, Abe Cast Iron Balls, a podcast about sports. My name is Bob, sitting across the way from my good friend and co-host. That's Abe. How you doing tonight, Abe?
Doing well, Bob.
Yeah, here we are. Lori's here too. How you doing tonight, Lori?
I'm good.
Lori's good. Tonight is Thursday, October 16th, 2025. Abe, I understand you're a big fan of the Disney remake of The Parent Trap, starring Lindsay Lohan.
When I watched it, I thought it was an original, but apparently it is a remake of some other movie.
Yeah, from the 70s, I believe. Maybe even the 60s.
I think it was the 60s.
Oh, wow.
We could find out pretty easily.
Abe, it is imperative that you live bet the games. And even more imperative, Abe, that you get one right.
Yeah, I'm on
Christ's sake.
a losing skid here. I don't know how many weeks it's been, but I'm teetering on 500. I mean, it's good news for Jimmy Carter because he's trying to get to, but, you know, I've been ahead of it.
All right, we've got tonight. I'm going to let you choose, Abe. There's an NFL game that is currently underway. The Steelers and the Bengals are scoreless early in the first quarter. Nothing with about 11 minutes to go. And then we have an MLB game coming up in just a little bit. The Blue Jays and the Mariners start in about 10 minutes from now. Blue Jays are the plus 1.5 road dogs against the Seattle Mariners. They're in Seattle. Minus 132 is the home money line for the Mariners. You want to bet baseball or football tonight?
You know, the Blue Jays blew their load on Game 3. 13 runs, way too many. Like, I think they should have saved some of that for tonight, so I'm less confident in that. I'm going to go with the Steelers in the NFL.
Well, noted maniac Max Scherzer is on the bump for the Blue Jays tonight. I mean, you never know what you're going to get there. I respect you staying away from that game because you just can never be sure.
3 balls and 2 strikes on Canzone. Here it comes. That is strike 3. And this best of 7 has become a best of 3. The road team reigning supreme. The Blue Jays winning games 3 and 4 in Seattle after dropping the 2 in Toronto. What a bounce back.
Going to go instead with the Steelers on the money line, I take it?
Yes.
All right, because it's currently a minus 9.5 point live spread, or a minus 460 money line, as the Steelers have, in the intervening time here, while we were bullshitting, scored a touchdown and gone up 7-0.
Hip, hip.
So are we going money line, or are you going to lay some points and try to make me some money tonight?
My interest in you making money is very small. I'm trying to get a win here. Money.
Oh, no. I want him to make money.
All right, so it's a $5 bet to win $1.09.
Okay.
Flacco down the sideline, caught, and sliding to a stop at the 6 is Higgins. Brilliant, just brilliant.
To know exactly where he was on the field, what's going on with the game clock, and what needs to happen. Slides down, protects the ball, makes.
Snap good, hold good, kick good. What a night.
In the pocket and taking it, and kept believing that this team could dig themselves out of it. And down 31-30 and thinking, okay, same old. Joe Flacco leads them right down.
It's better than
$9.
Yeah.
The last 3 times I've made $5 bets to win $1. It hasn't panned out for me.
You should stop doing
And
that.
I'm combining that with $10 parlays, $10 like 11 and 13 way parlays, and believe it or not, I'm not making any money at all recently.
This is how you know these
Yeah.
sports betting books don't care and aren't taking seriously the problem of gambling addiction, because they should have sent you some sort of email or a pop-up message. Hey, friend, like your you're risking $5 to win one, and you're not even doing that well. Like, you want to take a break. Like, they're not trying to talk you out of it.
Take a break. The hourly rate at which you're losing money is completely out of hand here with your twice weekly $5 bets. We need to bring in some psychological authorities to sort you out. All right, Abe, let's quickly open up the WGAS NewsBag Sports Edition. It's time for Who Gives a Shit News Sports.
Pause for a second.
Yes.
Your camera isn't as sharp as last time.
I'm sure it's just your internet.
Abe is sharp. I'm sharp.
How do you explain that?
You're.
I don't know. How do I look, Abe?
I can see you.
Good enough.
All right.
Headline this late evening or late afternoon, early evening. UNC football general manager Michael Lombardi met with Saudi Arabia about potential investment. Did you see this story?
I did. And this
saw
was
that it
during the
existed.
summer window, right? He left before the season started.
That's right. And this is of a piece with stories that we've been hearing out of the Big Ten about how private equity might be getting involved in college football investment. Having done 2 whole articles worth of reading about this Saudi Arabia thing and then also the private investment stuff out of the Big Ten, I will simply say, no, let's not have those entities investing giant piles of money in college football.
The Saudi tentacles are everywhere. I just read also an article about the NBA trying to come up with some sort of scheme with the Saudi wealth fund or whatever. So now they're into just about every sport, right? I mean, they were into golf. They got into the boxing and this stuff for a while. And now, college football, that's ridiculous. Who's going to be their team?
UNC.
UNC, apparently. The weird thing to me with the private equity stuff is because anytime you hear about private equity money, it's about Toys R Us or they buy up Hostess candy cakes or whatever, and then they fire all the employees and they just keep the brand name and then try to profit off of.
Yeah, don't they just drain the resources and then it's like a pump and dump in a different way? What's the private equity angle in college sports, or what are they going to do there?
I don't know. What I assume that they do whatever private equity always does, which is invest a certain amount of money, demand somewhere between a solid financial return and an outrageous financial return, and then attempt to be activist investors who take things over and make things worse for the product in question. That's probably not the fairest way of describing what private equity does, but it's not something that I think we want or need in our beloved college football.
Right, and if they come up with an NIL fund that's Saudi financed and someone does not adhere to whatever the deal is, are they going to get what was that? What was it called back in the day? Rendition? They're just kind of just disappear you into Saudi Arabia and do a little Khashoggi action? What's going to be?
They're going to. Maybe they could Jamal Khashoggi Bill Belichick.
That's right. Yes, that's right.
If he doesn't get enough wins, you got to be careful.
See, I don't want that sort of college sports should be a little
or
more
maybe
fun.
Bill Belichick could get them to Jamal Khashoggi, his 24-year-old
His
girlfriend.
There you go.
He could be done once. He could be out from under her vicious claws once and for all. I assume that's what's going on there.
If they're making these kind of arrangements, then all of those reports about UNC and Belichick trying to find an off ramp, a week or two ago, and now it seems like the school came out to deny those reports. Belichick himself has denied the reports, and then now the story about how they're trying to get financing into the future. So it seems like at least they're going to stick it out.
I don't know. I think you say nothing is happening, nothing to see here, all the way up until the moment of there being something definitely to see there.
Right.
This is from an ESPN headline: Proposed Big Ten private capital deal in holding pattern. A decision on the Big Ten's proposed private capital deal does not appear imminent in the wake of a Thursday meeting of the league's presidents and chancellors. No vote was taken on the conference call, as leagues rarely do so on any issue that won't be unanimously approved. And the Big Ten said that conversations are ongoing. It seems that the bigger names in the conference are less all about it than the smaller names are, presumably because the smaller schools, not Michigan, not Ohio State, for example, don't have as much money constantly coming in as the bigger schools do, and so that they would, in theory, disproportionately benefit from any cash infusion that would happen.
Right.
The plan calls for the league to spin off a new entity called Big Ten Enterprises that would house all league-wide media rights and sponsorship deals. A University of California pension fund will receive a 10% stake in exchange for a cash infusion of over $2 billion to conference athletic departments. The deal also would expend the league's grant of rights until 2046. So yeah, one can imagine why a smaller school like
Rutgers.
Rutgers, for example, might be interested in making this happen, but the bigger ones would not.
Overall, this new era of college football seems to benefit the Big Ten more than just about any other conference. They seem to be doing very well.
Yeah, Big Ten and the SEC, I think, right?
But I mean, the SEC was also already doing well, and now like the Big Ten is kind of like leveled where the SEC was.
That's true. I mean, a couple of plays go a couple of different ways, and Ohio State and Michigan don't win national titles, and we're probably not saying that.
That's true.
I feel like we've talked about this, maybe not, but I think that a theory is that the SEC schools have always been paying the players, and the Big Ten schools not so much.
Okay.
So now that they're allowed, all of the donors that have always been donating to the SEC are just doing the same thing, where Big Ten, it's like, oh, here's a giant pile of money.
Right.
But it won't be sustainable. Like, they're not going to get giant piles of money the way they have been for the last couple of years.
Right. I know this is all the way of the world, but I was sort of reminded of my own mystification at the way of the world, reading a story earlier today. Not in the sports world, but in politics. And forgive me, but Donald Trump, it has been revealed that he wants to build a new monument in Washington, D.C. It has been dubbed the Arc de Trump. It's not officially what it's called, but he wants to put a giant arch or arc or whatever in...
You want the statue of Arch Manning?
No, just like a big... I mean, it looks vaguely like the Arc de Triomphe in France, but... Arc d'America or whatever, down there in D.C. Where would it be exactly? Did you see? Like
I saw, but I couldn't place it. Like, I don't know where exactly they're going to locate it. This is like for next year's 250th?
I guess. It was part of the unveiling to a room full of donors. He had a bunch of very rich folks there in the White House today, and they opened up the windows to show them that they are now working on the ballroom that is going to be attached to the White House. And based on models that I've seen and digital renderings of what it will look like, it really throws off the balance of the building. Like, it doesn't look good, in my opinion. I mean, it will fit in aesthetically, at the very least, with it will be white, and it will mimic the architecture of the building. But it really ruins the balance that currently exists.
Well, that sounds right.
With the profile
white and ruins the balance
of the White House, but apparently we're getting it right. Like they're fucking building it now, and there's nothing we can do about it, and it's just what's happening. But anyway, he was in this meeting talking to all of these people who helped make this happen. With Zuckerberg, I guess, was there, and some other very, very rich people, and the Winklevoss, the Winklevi twins, who apparently have a lot of money through their crypto app. And Trump said, there's a quote in there about Trump saying, all these people, they come up to me and they're like, sir, how much can we give? Does 25 million sound like enough? And I say, yes, that I'll take it. Yeah. Yeah, sure. And so, obviously, those sorts of things those conversations don't actually happen. Right. But, and it's very clear to me why Mark Zuckerberg and fucking Amazon and the Winklevi twins would be interested in giving Trump a big pile of money, because Trump is the sort of person who can make things happen for their interests in the short term and the long run, probably.
Right. They're getting a return on their investment.
Right. And so if I was a fucking billionaire and I wanted to be a multi-billionaire in the years and generations to come, a worthy investment of my funds there. I've never understood the idea that like I would be a booster.
Yes.
Like if I just had an enormous sack of money, and nothing
you would
better
donate
to do
to
with
the
it.
Georgia philosophy department.
Yeah, I think I would be much more likely to like. So I've got all of a sudden I win the Mega Millions at a 1.5 billion or whatever, and the philosophy building still has the same bathrooms it had when I was there, and they were gross then. And I'd be like, you know what, we need down there at Peabody Hall at UGA is some new bathrooms.
The
And
Bob
so
Howard toilets.
Bob Howard toilets go in there in the basement of Peabody at a cost of like, $150,000 or something. And I get my name over a couple of urinals down there in Peabody Hall.
Right.
Where it belongs.
That would be fine. But what I cannot fathom is walking up to or getting on the horn with UGA, the athletics department, and being like, you know what? Just because I love my Bulldogs, how about you have $8 million of my dollars?
Right.
And do with it what you will. And I want to support the program in that way. I just have no interest whatsoever.
I'm in the same boat as you. I would never give any money to a school in that way, unless there was some sort of direct need that was helping somebody specifically. But the hierarchy of needs, millionaires and billionaires are not even connected to that. Like they have no needs of any sort, right? And so like if they're in the legacy building phase of it, they're like, I want somebody to keep saying my name when they gotta go take a piss at that bathroom, or say my name whenever they enter this facility. Like it'll be worth this money because like I have so much of it. Like it doesn't cost me anything really because I have all the money in the world. So why not just throw some pocket change to me? I mean, it's still a significant amount of money, but like they can afford it, and so they're like, this is a legacy thing. And so maybe in that way.
Are you born wanting to have a legacy, or do you accrue so much material goods or wealth or whatever, and then realize, oh, this was fucking pointless.
No.
What I need is a legacy.
Because like when we went to the UVA game at Scott Stadium, and above the screen it said somebody else's name, remember?
Yeah.
And it was like, what's that about? And it's like just another big donor. I would give them money, but like don't tell them I did. Right. Just take the money and let me go to games and get me good seats whenever I want.
Right.
And like,
or I mean, obviously,
that's it.
None of them would do this. But like, if you had like naming rights money, like if there was some like local legend or some like connection to the school, somebody like name it after them. Like that way, people will have that connection, and instead of your name. Like if you were gonna name it after somebody,
the Herschel Walker Urinals,
right? Yeah.
At Peabody Hall.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the way, are there any schools desperate enough to where they're accepting funds for urinals and such?
I don't see why not. Every little bit helps. All right. Curt Cignetti.
There we go.
Has signed a contract. Abe, the Penn State job comes open, and Indiana immediately panics.
Yes.
And announces a new 8-year, $93 million contract for Curt Cignetti, who has played in and won as many national titles as has Coach Me.
So, circling back to the discussion we had, I think just in the last episode of Balls, I assume this contract does not have any sort of language about like, we'll just pay you up front, and if we need to cut you 3 years in, we don't have to
I don't know what the buyout is or how it's guaranteed. I know that he owes them $15 million if he decides to leave early.
Right. But if he doesn't, and he like just stinks up the joint, let's say his shtick wears thin like 2 years on, and the team is like back-to-back losing seasons. Basically, like the Indiana football program goes back to their shitty ways. They'll still owe him like, $70 million left on that contract. And
okay, yeah, I've got it here now. I think I have an updated version of the story now. Under his previous deal, Cignetti's buyout was set to drop to $10 million on December 1st, a number that now climbs to $15 million under the new contract, sources tell ESPN's Pete Thamel. if Indiana fires Cignetti without cause during his new deal, $93.25 million becomes fully guaranteed, sources tell Adam Rittenberg.
And sucking balls is not cause, I take it, right? Like, just...
Right. No, he's got to...
like if he's an asshole.
He's got a Bobby Petrino.
Yeah, he's got to do...
Yeah, yeah. It answers that question. Is there another job that would be Curt Cignetti's dream job? The answer seems to be no. He's happy to stay here.
His dream job was always to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I guess Matt Rule is basically a shoo-in at this point, right?
Unless he doesn't want it.
I mean, why would he not want...
Matt Rule, it seems almost too obvious
right?
with the everything else at play here, but I don't know. You wouldn't be surprised either. Like, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I know that I always said, like, you don't want to hire Spawn of Dooley and be in the wilderness for a decade. But you could take a shot at a coordinator or a guy who's maybe not fully proven. Like, I mean, as much of a lock as Kirby Smart was, like, we didn't know.
We didn't know that. And he wasn't great at first.
Right.
Yeah, that first year was... I mean,
the first year was what it was. The second year was bad.
It was chaos. No, the second year we played.
No, the second year
for
was
a
good.
national title game and lost.
The second year was good. The first year was bad.
But like you don't know. I mean, you can assume like Kirby's name was in the ether for a couple of years, and as like the next hot assistant coming out of Alabama, and he was a Georgia guy, and so you sort of assumed that it would work out. But like was Dan Lanning an absolute slam dunk when he went out to Oregon?
Yeah.
He was just a DC before then too.
Yeah.
So you don't know if you can find and maybe get lucky with I don't know. But I guess there's no. It feels like Matt Rule it's swinging and attempting to hit a double. Yeah. Right? Like he's not a like I don't think he's going to be one of the 5 or 10 best coaches in college football at any point. If he was, he would have been what Curt Cignetti has been at Indiana, which is like immediately making you a national contender at a program that, as good as Nebraska is historically, has been sort of in the wilderness for 25 years. So I don't know.
But outside of that, then, they would have to, do like an exhaustive, like kind of like recruiting kind of thing, like try to find the next hot like coordinator or whatever. Like, why not just go with this guy? And if it doesn't work, you can cut him too.
Yeah, I mean, not if you give him an 8-year deal with, for $9 or $10 million a year.
You won't take an alma mater discount? Come on, man. This is your school.
Yeah, I don't know what he's making in Nebraska right now, but I assume he'll need a raise. All right. What else happened in the sports world this week that we should talk about before getting into the weekend preview?
That Whit Weeks guy cut his hair.
Oh, that's not worth talking about.
And you asked what happened.
He cut his hair.
Yeah, he buzzed his hair.
Oh.
And he's in a walking boot. But, like...
Has he been dumped by Lance Kiffin's daughter yet?
I don't know.
This fucking chair sucks.
We should get you a new chair. You were complaining about that chair on the Philip K. Dick's Position podcast that only just came out today.
I mean, you could sit in this chair.
Want to trade chairs?
We've just got a lot of games to talk about coming up. So why would we talk about other things when we can talk about football?
All right. Well, then let's go ahead and move on then to the best game in every time slot. It's a pretty good weekend overall.
Bob's trying to make it so we can't watch any football.
Some good games. I've got a lot of baseball conflicts this weekend, but we're gonna make everything work. Don't you worry. On Friday night, don't bother with the football. There's nothing terribly worth watching on Friday
Louisville
night.
at Miami.
No, there is an NLCS game on. It will be NLCS Game 4 between the Brewers and the Dodgers. That's at 8:38 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, what do you do from 7 o'clock till then?
TBS. You watch the boys' soccer practice?
Yeah, you do.
Shohei Ohtani will be on the mound for Game 4, looking like it will be the Dodgers going for the sweep. Dodgers currently leading Game 3, 3-1.
Oh, nice.
In the bottom of the 8th inning. I assume that anyone listening to this saw the strangest double play in the history of Major League Baseball earlier in the week. Did you not, Abe?
No.
I didn't.
What are you talking about?
All right, let me show you.
For 2, and Muncy skies one to center field, hit well. This one's got a chance. Freeland going back to the wall.
It's in and out of his glove, but he caught it. And now chaos on the bases. Might have a play at the plate. The throw. Not in time. No, he's out. He's out. It's a force play at the plate. And he is out.
It's only a force play if he didn't catch it.
I don't think they know. Also, did he leave early? Once it hits the glove, you can leave the base. It hits the wall.
It's a force play then. It's the first play.
It's going to be a force play.
It's no catch. It hits the wall off his glove. And now it's a force play at home.
Let's see. And the throw beat him. So you're going to have bases loaded and 2 outs.
3 outs because Contreras ran to third.
He ran to third for another force.
Wow. The guys in Chelsea, their heads are exploding.
So right here, that's going to be your force play at home. Yeah, live ball first of all.
That's your second out.
That's your second out. And then you said Contreras ran to third?
Yes, ran to third.
This is the sequence here. So now keep your eye on Will Smith at second. Okay, so you know the out at the plate is good. That's a force. Here's the out. Now Contreras goes to third. Keep an eye on that. And right here you can see. Look at Joey Ortiz telling him, give me the ball. Come here and step on third. That's going to be your third out.
After review, the call on the field, the force out at home plate is confirmed. The runner is out. The confirmed on the runner at third base when the force out is out.
Wow. Whoa. Wow.
Okay.
All right, so it's bases loaded with 1 out, and the ball is hit 408 feet to left center field, nearly out. The center fielder, the Frelick guy, leaps and attempts to stop a home run. I'm not sure if it was going to go out. It looks like it might have gotten out, but maybe not, maybe just off the top of the wall. But it bounces off of his glove, then bounces against the wall, and then he catches it still on the fly, but technically off the ground. Like not truly the ground, but the wall effectively counts as the ground.
I did not know that. Okay, so that's the part that I was confused at. I was like, wouldn't that be through?
Well, because if you catch a ball off the wall, it's not going to be an out, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true. I didn't. Okay. So
it's effectively a continuation of the ground until you can get it up out of the park.
Okay.
So the crazy thing is that so it's bases loaded, 1 out. You've got a runner on third, obviously, with the bases loaded. He's allowed to, and this is why this ended up being a perfect play. I took a copy of this play from the, like in football, you have the all 22 cam where you can watch the whole thing, but there's a camera of this that just shows the entire field.
Okay.
Right, and so you can see everything that's happening, what each player is doing, and what each umpire is doing at every different second in the play. And so I took that version of it with me to baseball practice this week, and used it as a teaching aid for the majors team, because the Brewers in this case did basically everything right, and the Dodgers did everything completely fucking wrong. And it turns out they end up winning the game anyway, so it doesn't matter. But here in the 4th inning, it felt like a very big deal, because this is Max Muncy hitting a ball 408 feet, and it ended up in the scorebook, it's a grounded into double play. Wow. Which is just fucking absurd. The sin here is on, at the very least, the base runners who are on second and third and first ultimately also. But really, the runner on third, as soon as that ball hits the glove of the outfielder, he needs to be sprinting off of third base to score on a tag up. It doesn't matter that he juggled the ball before eventually securing the catch, because the rule is not once the catch has been secured, right, you may leave the base and attempt to score. It's once the ball has touched their glove, you may leave the base. Because otherwise, you could be in a situation where the guy just juggles it all the way back in to the infield, and then nobody can ever advance.
Can that happen someday? Just juggling?
In this situation, is the third base... Is the third base player looking back, or is he looking at the side?
The third base player either needs to have his head down and be ready to go when his third base coach says go,
right,
or he needs to have his eyes on the play so that he knows whether or not it drops or whether or not it hits the guy's glove and that he should take off for home.
Yes, I wonder what happened in this specific
What
case.
happens is Teoscar Hernandez does not know the rule, because he takes off when it hits.
Because that's a weird rule.
it's a rule that every Major League Baseball player absolutely
But it's not
needs
when
to know.
it's juggled. You don't know. It
You
makes
do
sense.
know. If you've been playing baseball your whole life, you need to know that. And so as soon as it hits the glove, he needs to go. But what he sees is it get juggled out there. So he returns to the base after getting like 6 or 8 feet off the bag. So now he's got to go back. Frelick, in the meantime, is now already throwing a laser beam back towards the infield, right? And so what we needed here was essentially 2 perfect throws to get Hernandez out at the plate, which is what we ended up getting, right? So the center fielder relays it to the infield. The infielder turns around and throws another perfect throw. I think it was the shortstop to the catcher, Contreras. And what's great about Contreras' play here is that you can pause this when you look at the all 22 view or the all field view. You can pause it because Contreras points at the left field umpire who has signaled no catch. Right? When he signals no catch, Contreras knows because he's looking in the right spot that it's now going to be a force at home instead of having to make the tag. So he positions himself out in front of home plate, lets his trailing legs stand on the plate as though he's a first baseman. And they need every inch of his stretch in order to make this out. They only end up getting him by 5 or 6 inches or something at top speed. And so Contreras is paying attention to the exact right thing, which is the umpire in left field, like the bonus, because they have a 5th and 6th umpire for the playoffs. The bonus umpire in left field signaling no catch. So now he knows what he needs to do, and he accepts the relay play for the out. And then he looks up, and Will Smith, the dummy, is still standing at second base. And he has made the same mistake that Hernandez made, which is like, as soon as that ball touches the glove, you've got to go no matter what, because they're not going to throw you out. If you're tagging up from second when the ball is at the center field wall and sliding into third, and even if he has made either it's hit his glove and you need to go, or it's in play and there's a runner behind you and you need to go. So there's no reason for Will Smith to still be standing on second base.
I do wonder, these the first base and the third base coach. They're there to kind of, especially the third base coach, to kind of fill in the gaps of knowledge and vision.
It's a total clusterfuck by the coaching staff as well.
Right. I wonder, that's bizarre.
And then on top of it, Max Muncy almost overran the guy at first. And so if Max Muncy had overran the guy, because the guy who hit it, if he overruns the guy who was already on first base, then we have another out. And so there was the potential for 4 outs to be made. They only needed 2.
You don't need all of them,
But there was a potential for 4 outs to be made on this goofy play.
Wow.
Anyway, Friday night.
Anyway, that's this, and this is what I said to the kids. I was like, people who've been watching baseball their entire lives have never seen a play like this. The number of variables at play in any given moment on a baseball field are so crazy. Given the limited rule set, the idea that you could still see things that you've never seen before is what makes the game fun. And then you add in the fact that it's playoff baseball, where every pitch feels fraught and like it matters, and it's even more fun. So yeah, skip the college football on Friday and watch the Dodgers and the Brewers.
We have 2 TVs.
Was this a first for the playoffs in baseball? This particular.
So it's an 8-6-2 double play, ground into double play, and there's only I don't think there's ever been another one of those in the playoffs. I think there's only been one other 8-6-2 ground into double play, and it's the circumstances were weirder. I don't know. I read there's a good Jason Stark column about this in The Athletic. I'll make sure there's a link in the show note. This is a classic Jason Stark. I have been reading Jason Stark for 25 years or something at this point, and this is just directly up his alley in terms of something to write about.
I wonder if those sort of baseball writers get a boner when something like this happens. Oh, fire up the typewriter.
Oh,
I
we're
need to.
well past boner for a play like this with Jason Stark. We're in the Biffler territory of reactions. All right, Saturday, fire up the multiple televisions because we're going to need them. At noon, the game to watch is number 10 LSU plus 2.5 points on the road in Nashville, Tennessee, to play the Vanderbilt Commodores.
I read somewhere that this is the first time in a long while Vanderbilt has been the favorite in a
50 years or something.
It is kind of bonkers, though, that LSU is the road dog against Vanderbilt, right?
Yeah. That is odd.
It's weird.
But I guess we'll see. I'll be rooting for Vanderbilt, certainly. That would be fun. Mostly because you want Brian Kelly to have that press conference after losing to Vanderbilt. And then at noon on the second TV, turn on Georgia Tech, the number 12 team in all the country. Undefeated. Georgia Tech, number 12, is the road underdog at Duke, catching 1.5 on ESPN.
So Duke had a weird line a couple of weeks ago against Syracuse, and they ended up winning by 20 or 35 points. It wasn't clear why they were.
Well, apparently Duke is pretty good.
Yeah.
They've got the was it Darian Mensah? I know his last name is Mensah. I forget his first name.
Yeah, Darian Mensah. Yeah.
His quarterback has been pretty good. This is I was reading about the specific matchup here, which is that the Duke defense is probably well suited to go up against this Tech offense, and the Duke offense has a relatively explosive passing game, which does not bode well for the Yellow Jackets defense, which is apparently not great in the secondary, which is how you end up with an undefeated Tech who might be fraudulent. Like you look at their wins, and that Clemson win doesn't seem as impressive as perhaps it felt in the moment. And who else have they really beaten? And the answer is...
And they should have lost to Wake Forest because of penalties that weren't called.
Right, and they really probably should have lost to Clemson also, right? It was a fluky win against Clemson, a fluky win against Wake Forest.
Well, but the one against Wake Forest was sort of unfair. The one against Clemson was fluky, sure, but not kind of bullshit.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a prove you're not frauds weekend for Georgia Tech, I think.
This is a 16.5 over underline. So.
Oh yeah, lots of points. Should be fun. I didn't think we needed a double box for that noon window, but two good games, two potentially entertaining games on there.
Washington, Michigan.
There's also that Oklahoma, South Carolina game at 12:45.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. Oklahoma, South Carolina might be worth putting on in the double box. All right, 3:30 window. Let's turn on in my opinion, I think it's the game of the weekend. It's number 5 Ole Miss traveling to Athens, GA to face number 9, the Georgia Bulldogs on ABC.
James Franklin is going to be there.
Why?
Oh, that's right. He's going to
he
be
has nothing better to do.
I thought he was going to be at College Game Day. Are they?
Yeah.
They're in Athens.
Oh, they're in Athens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Game Day's in Athens.
Well, there you go. Yeah, because I saw somewhere they're going to be there for the College Game Day segment.
Yeah, in Athens.
Maybe to audition. Maybe I'll take a shirt off with Pat McAfee.
Yeah, that's what they need. Is James Franklin's charm on the Game Day set.
Maybe he could turn it on. He seems charmless, but I don't know. Some people can turn it on.
This line opened at 6.5 for Ole Miss and has moved in Georgia's direction. Now Vegas believing Georgia's going to win by even more than a touchdown.
Yeah, it's like 7.5. So I'm reading reports that they're trying to get a stripe out or some sort of red, white, and black.
I'm sorry, a what?
Have you not seen this?
So
no.
Instead of a blackout, they're gonna have one section. They want everybody in red, one section in white, and then one section in black.
Red, white, and like they do at.
I guess all of their colors.
A flag.
Yeah.
Like Tennessee does the alternating color thing.
Tennessee does a checkerboard.
But they have the checkered one, and a lot. I've seen that more often than this
Hold
setup.
on. I'll find it. It's so dumb.
Yeah, I wonder
what they should do. That's where can I find
this?
This
This is not a very good example, but this is the one that I saw, something like this. That I sent it.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Okay. So red on one side of the stadium, black on the other, then white in the end zones.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, it could be fun, I guess.
No,
I don't
it's
know.
stupid. What they should do is you walk in and they sort you.
Oh, yeah.
Seat assignment be damned. Not you're over there.
That's right.
Tearing families apart.
I'm fine with it. I don't care what they do. Get the people in. As long as the people get in the stadium and get loud, it doesn't matter what color shirts they're wearing. Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel weird about this game, but why is that line moving in our direction of all
I don't know,
things?
especially because we have a cornerback out now.
Yeah, I do wonder why the line has moved.
I mean, what's his name wasn't great last week. Their backup quarterback, but still there was no move to going back to Austin Simmons. So they're convinced that they're riding with the right guy here, even though he wasn't particularly good last week.
They weren't great last week because they were thinking about playing Georgia.
Right. Maybe.
What's the guy's out? The guy.
It's not Dalen Everett, and then I think we'll be okay.
Is it? It might be. It's not. Hold on. Why isn't anything easy to find?
Because the internet has been entirely shitified.
Yes.
Okay. Kyron Jones.
Yeah, next man up. We'll be fine.
That's not how it works anymore.
Next man up.
Next man up is a freshman.
That's the 3:30 main game on the big TV. On your second television, on the quad box, you're going to need number 7, Texas Tech, -7.5 at Arizona State. That's at 4 o'clock on Fox. Texas Tech, of course, appears to be, as we've said recently, the class of the Big 12. Right. And a big win over Arizona State would help solidify that, certainly. Number 4, Texas A&M, -7.5 at Arkansas on ESPN. The number 4 team in the country, only favored by a little more than a touchdown against an Arkansas team that's lost its head coach already, is a bit curious, and one wonders if this isn't some sort of a trap as well.
Are they expecting some sort of like rally performance? Like,
I mean, I think the expectation is that Petrino is going to get the offense humming as things continue to move along here. And so a lot of points can be scored, and you never know what happens when lots of points are scored, I guess.
Yeah.
But that A&M defense is supposed to be pretty good, so I would be surprised if Bobby Petrino can make this a close game, but I guess we'll see. UNLV plus 12.5 points now at Boise State on FS1. Now, I said earlier in the week that
and Le'Veon Moss is out. That's a big part of it. Maybe a small part of it.
Which? The
for A&M.
A&M game?
Yeah.
Yeah. I rushed to get my marker down on UNLV at plus 11.5 because I thought this line might dip under double digits, and I want to make sure that I get in for the potential 20-point win. And instead, the line went in the other direction. So maybe I'm out of my mind here, but UNLV and the Fightin' Dan Mullins are undefeated, and Boise State is not. Now, granted, 2 different schedules, to be fair.
Is that the strength of your argument, or are you just trying to get those points?
I mean, I want those points, but also UNLV has been really good under Dan Mullen this year, and they've played close games against Boise State the last 2 times out. They've played Boise quite well in the last 12 months. So we're going to keep that going, and UNLV is going we'll get to that in the pick'em in a minute here, but it should be an exciting game either way. The over-under points scored is 63.5 points, which if you're unfamiliar with the way these things go, that's quite high in the business.
The ESPN Predictometer has got UNLV at 28% chance to win.
Ooh.
28%? And that's a 20-point game for me? I would take a 1 and 4.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Between a 1 and 4 and a 1 and 3 to win 20 points. That's pretty good. Think about that, though. 28% on a game they're favored by almost 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like that, not out of the question.
No.
All right, fourth box in the quad box. Mississippi State, the Bizarro Bulldogs, plus 9.5 points at Florida on SEC Network at 4:15. I think that one's worth checking out, if only to see Billy Napier in perhaps his last game as the head coach.
If he loses to Mississippi State, that's it.
No.
What happens if he wins, though?
Then he'll stick around. But, they've been talking about getting rid of this guy for a while, but...
There have been rumors that it'll happen this weekend.
Even with a win?
Yeah.
They've got a bye before the Georgia game, so.
Which, I don't like it. I would like one more Billy Napier-Georgia matchup, I think.
9.5 points is a lot of points, considering Mississippi State's actually been better than expected this year, and Florida has been worse. So I don't understand this line at all. Maybe the odds makers think the kids are going to come out and fight hard for Billy Napier, but I don't see it. They got fairly effectively trounced last week by A&M, right? 34-17, something like that. All right, now we're moving on to the evening games at 7:30, it being the 3rd Saturday in October. It is time for Tennessee to travel to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, where they will be 7.5-point road underdogs against the Crimson Tide. That's the number 11 team in the country on the road at the number 6 team in the country at 7:30 on ABC. Should be a fun one.
Tennessee has no chance of winning.
Oh, yeah? It's a no chance at all kind of game?
What's the predictometer say? 0?
They have a 27% chance, according to the predictometer. Tennessee does.
So a slightly worse chance to beat Alabama does Tennessee have than UNLV has to beat Boise State,
correct.
you're telling me?
Yes.
Where will you be watching
I'm
these
sorry,
games?
that line has now moved to -8.5 for Alabama to update the with the latest
where?
information from 7.5.
Good for me.
So there's just, you guys see no chance whatsoever that Tennessee wins this game?
Yeah, no chance.
So Tennessee will have lost to Alabama and Georgia. I believe that would be their only 2 losses so far this season.
Yeah.
Do they need to then win out to make the playoff? Can they afford more losses?
Depends on what else happens.
Yeah, it depends on what else.
They've got Kentucky, Oklahoma, New Mexico State, Florida, and Vanderbilt left on their schedule after this weekend. I don't think that they can afford to lose to any of those teams and still make the playoff.
Right.
Especially because that Oklahoma-Tennessee game you might effectively think of that as an elimination game since Oklahoma now also has a loss. Yeah, must win for Tennessee, I think, to stay in it. Oh, I should stop sharing this.
Yeah, they're going to be hanging around long enough to get eliminated by Vandy at the end of the year.
Oh, that would be great. All right, that's your main game at 7:30, but you will need the quad box once again at in the 7 o'clock window. It's a double quad box kind of Saturday.
Yeah. I am so excited for Saturday night because the Georgia game will be over.
Yeah,
I will be less excited about Saturday night if we have not won that football game.
What?
But I will get drunk much quicker if we have not won that football game.
When do you guys prefer the marquee Georgia game? You got like a 3:30 window, the 7:30 window?
Not late.
Okay,
yes.
So
if Bob doesn't
I
poorly schedule baseball.
Yeah, I would have said that the ideal Georgia football time is 7 o'clock, 7:30, except that, just as an example, that 7:30 game took until like 11:30 last time.
That's the problem, yeah.
Right? Like what you want is to be able to knock off at 10 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
The game should be ending no later than 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because 3:30 sometimes it feels like it takes you until 5:30 or 6 o'clock to like get into it.
Yeah.
What?
Sometimes those early games, it feels like I'm waiting until the evening to really settle into the game.
It's because you are. It's because you're not showered until halftime.
If you would
no,
All right, we got
no.
a lot of shit going on around here.
If you would prepare for games properly and be ready for the game at 3:30, butts in seats, settled, you would be fully ready at 3:30.
I think
but you're showering.
A 7 o'clock kick, and the first half does not take 2.5 goddamn hours.
No, I like having it earlier, getting it over with.
Yeah, noon is too early, and then 7:30 can drag.
Noon's fine.
So 3:30 is fine. There's like a meme floating out there saying like the Ole Miss Georgia game starts at 3:30, and Georgia expected to show up at 4:45, 5 o'clock, taking a piss at Georgia's late.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like me. They've got Little League Baseball to worry about. They've got to get their kid to the soccer game. Right. Like, it sucks.
Maybe if you would just not do those things,
all right,
they'd play better.
7 o'clock, second TV quad box. Number 20, USC, plus 9.5 points at number 13, Notre Dame.
What is
on NBC?
What's behind that line? Because, like, USC is not that bad. Like,
yeah, and Notre Dame has lost its only 2 meaningful games that they've played this year, right?
Right, so it's like, what's going on?
I don't know, but they're threatening to take the rivalry away, and that's sad.
And this is like, it opened at 7.5 and bumped up to 9.5. So, like, the money's going the other way.
Maybe we should ask the robot about this matchup and explain what the fuck is going on here.
Why would we do that?
I don't know. Abe's got questions.
Yeah,
I don't have answers.
I'll be interested to see how that game shakes out.
Yeah, it should be a fun one. USC Notre Dame is always good. Same time, or rather, kicking off an hour later, but during the same window. Number 23, Utah, minus 3.5 at undefeated number 15, BYU. BYU, like I said, does not have a loss yet.
Holy War. You have to say Holy War.
This season. This is the Holy War. Utah expected to win it this time around. Utah has already lost to Texas Tech this season. That is their one loss, which is why they are ranked lower than BYU, who is currently undefeated. Utah coming off of thorough domination of the Sam Leavitt-less, that's funny to say, the Sam Leavitt-less Arizona State team last week, and a thumping of West Virginia the week before that. But yeah, Holy War, always worth turning on and seeing how that one turns out.
This is the big ticket item of the weekend. The get-in price, $350, higher than any other game.
Wow, yeah. What is the get-in price at Sanford Stadium this weekend?
$190.
That's respectable.
Yeah, $350.
$330
Those
start.
Utah people got a lot of money.
They're Mormon.
I guess none of that alcohol funds, right? So it's just
no, and they all own successful businesses.
Oh.
Is that what it is?
It's like one of the.
They don't spend it on alcohol, and they're all successful, self-made businessmen.
That is like a cultural pillar.
Yeah,
they have hordes of young blonde children also.
Yeah, who then go on to have successful businesses.
Do they call the failures? Like, all right, we didn't.
They just don't have them.
Okay.
If you have, you get kicked out. You're not Mormon anymore.
If by failures you mean their gays, then yes.
No, their gays are the most successful of them all.
Not in the family anymore, though. Move to the big city.
They're also not going to football games.
All right. Number 16, Mizzou, -1.5 at Auburn, with an over-under of 43.5 points at 7:45 on the SEC network. I don't understand why this isn't a much bigger line for Missouri, who has been pretty good this season.
They were underdogs at first.
Will Hugh Freeze get his team right for this game?
That's the only explanation, right? Is that the Vegas must believe that Hugh Freeze is a master motivator and can turn around that team that was broken psychologically and spiritually during the Georgia game last weekend will be well mended. And has a chance against Mizzou.
They kicked off one of their captains.
Yeah, I just don't see it. I think Mizzou wins this game handily.
Handily,
and then
wow.
I didn't pick a. Sorry, what?
Handily, the predictometer almost has this as a pick'em, 53-47. You know,
Ooh.
You got this.
Auburn sucks. I remind you?
They were almost up 17-0 on us last week. You know, they have the.
Doesn't mean they don't suck.
They're mentally weak, but that's
they're the sort of team. Hugh Freeze is the sort of coach, and Auburn is the sort of team that they've got a $5 million mansion, right? This beautiful property, and then some rotten kid does a ding dong ditch and leaves a flaming bag of shit on their front porch, and it ruins their life.
Yes.
Right? Everything else is fine, but somebody left a flaming bag of dog shit on their front porch, and they stomped
Bulldog
it out,
shit.
and they got dog shit on their fancy
shit.
slippers, and now they're just frothing with rage, and nothing is ever the same again. That is Hugh Freeze's Auburn Tigers. Minus the fact that it's not a $5 million mansion. It's supposed to look like a $5 million mansion, but it's like a $750,000 Mick mansion.
Also,
in
it's
the
in
suburbs,
Auburn.
and it's in Auburn. Anyway, no college football on the fourth box of the quad box. Instead, I'm going to assume that Shohei Ohtani lost Game 4. And instead, you should put on Game 5 of the Brewers at the Dodgers at 8:08 on TBS. But if not, I'm sure that there's a fourth football game you can put on there. But
Pitt, Syracuse.
yeah.
Also, UVA's playing at night.
Yeah, but UVA is playing Washington State.
Yeah, but it's right down the street.
Yeah, and if we cared, we would go watch it because the get-in price for that one is like $19.
Yeah, but we wouldn't be able to watch all the other games.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, and then if you need a nightcap, 10:30, all the other games are over. Maybe that 7:30 game is still wrapping up. If it's anything like last week's game. But turn on Florida State -18.5 at Stanford on ESPN. Why? I don't know why. Because you've been watching football for 12 hours. And why stop?
Why stop? Because we're still drinking.
Yeah, see the night through.
All right, let's move along to the CIB Pick'em contest. Cousin Steve found success on Monday night, unlike some other people.
No.
I know.
That was a long time ago.
and has tied the 2025 CIB football pick'em contest with Lori at 102 points. And he has his picks in. He's got Miami minus 13.5 points at home against Louisville. He's got Indiana minus 27.5 points at home against Michigan State. Couple of big numbers there.
That's a lot.
Steve. And then on the NFL side, he's got the Bengals plus 5.5 points against the Steelers. Bengals have been very bad.
It's only a 3-point game right now, so...
Is it?
Yeah, 10-7.
Oh, that's happening right now.
Yeah,
I forgot.
yeah.
What's the score in that game?
10-7 Steelers.
Yeah. Patriots minus 7 on the road against the Titans, and then the Seahawks minus 3 at home next Monday night against the Texans. Those are Steve's 5 games. I will go through Lori's 5 games here.
They're all Josh Pate and Andy Staples picks.
So as not to torture her with having to simply say the words and numbers that she has recently typed into the spreadsheet.
I feel nothing for them.
Texas Tech minus 10.5 on the road at Arizona State. Alabama plus the 9. No, that doesn't make sense. Alabama.
I don't know, whatever it is.
Minus the 9.5 points.
Oh, that would have been nice if it was the other way around. I would have
I'd take Bama plus 9.5 points.
Okay,
I think.
fix it.
Bama minus 9.5 at home against Tennessee. BYU plus the 3.5 points at home in the Holy War. And then Arizona as road dogs outright against Houston, and Mississippi State. She likes those 9.5 points against Florida in
either
the
Josh
swamp.
Pate or Andy Staples like those points.
All right, Abe, what do you got?
So I'm going to go against my Predictometer ESPN numbers. I got both LSU and Georgia Tech winning that early window on the road for both of them.
Trying to get on the board with 20 points right out of the gate.
Yes, I'm more confident in the LSU one than the Georgia Tech one, but I'm equally. I think both are going to hit. And then Mizzou getting some 10 points there too. Why not? Go with them. I don't trust this Auburn team. Alabama's going to win comfortably, or at least they're going to pull away in the second half. And UCLA has been winning lately, so I'm just going to keep riding this train until it falls apart. So they're laying 3.5 against Maryland.
Are they laying 3.5 against Maryland? Okay, that moved from 2.5 to 3.5?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. All right, cool. And then my teams are, I've got South Carolina, who is the home underdog against Oklahoma. I'll take them outright. I assume that after last week, Oklahoma gets their ass kicked by Texas. They are vulnerable. And Lenora Sellers and the South Carolina offense, they have not had it clicking at all yet this season, it must be said. Yeah. But this is a home game. This is that garbage, the cornball, the most electronica cornball club of an SEC stadium.
You've admitted it's cool.
Down there, is it? What the fuck is the name of that
Williams
place?
Brice.
Williams-Brice Stadium in South Carolina. And I grant you, I have admitted that I like it when it is late at night and it's dark and they start doing the Derude by Sandstorm.
It's broken me for Sandstorm. If I hear it at work, which I shouldn't, but I do, I get a little emotional.
Yeah. But I'll take the Gamecocks because it's potentially worth 10 points to me, and I like them at home this week. Against the Sooners, I also, Abe, have Mizzou as the road dogs down there at the loveliest village on the plains. I will take BYU in the Holy War as outright winners at home. I will take Arizona as outright winners over Houston. And I will take, as mentioned previously, for my big 20-point win, UNLV as double-digit road underdogs against Boise State.
Could be a big, big weekend for you.
I'm so excited. What do we have to do in terms of baseball?
This would be a 60-pointer for you, right? You can almost double.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're not, but
I expect to be in the lead come Monday night. Speaking of people who have so recently turned around their fortunes, it's now time to head to heaven, where we will hear from Jimmy Carter and the presidential lock of the week.
Hello once again to my dear friends at
Cast Iron Balls, and also to Ed, who I understand has been deemed an essential worker at the IRS. Essential, you say. Last I checked, you were essentially a bum. Just what does an essential manager do when there aren't any non-essential employees to manage? I wonder. Catches up on some essential 6 months past the CBS Sunday morning episodes. I wager. Take some essential naps. Maybe. I've been very busy up in heaven this week on account of having been called in for jury duty. That glorious civic institution that I wouldn't have guessed was necessary in the happily ever after. But it was surely the strangest day of jury duty I ever have experienced. We were given a number, told to have a sit in a waiting area, and then we were left to just ponder the days away in silence. The curtains on the windows made it hard to see outside, but you could just tell it was a perfect day out there. And we just sat for 8 hours, just waiting. Time is a funny thing, you might think, in eternity. 8 hours would just blink on by, but in reality, it was just interminable. The days stretching out in great, cramped desolation for years on end, and only a lunch of peanut butter on Ritz crackers, and not even any milk. Fortunately, I was able to pass the time by sneaking some cards in and playing a little gin rummy with my new friend, the Echo Mullen Brando. Bit prickly, but the only one who would play me for $100 a round. At least I notched another win in the gambling last week, and I'm well on my way back to 500. And have I got an absolute mortal law for you tonight? You can take this ticket to the bank, and they'll happily write you an interest-free loan on the winnings. As Rosalind was fond of saying, this bet here is as sure to come as a teenager in the back seat of Daddy's Buick parked overlooking Virgin Falls. Give me the bizarre Bulldogs of Mississippi State and those 9.5 points over the Gators, and then see if you can get your bookie to parlay at into Billy Napier getting the shit in on Sunday. Florida has a bye before the Georgia game, and I bet Coach Napier is getting ready to apply for offensive coordinator jobs in the MAC before then. As always, enjoy the games with good food and drink, and most importantly, good company, and be kind to one another. For gosh sakes, almost nothing matters besides that. May God bless this great nation and this great podcast. Until next time, this is Jimmy from Plains for Cast Iron Balls.
There we have it. Jimmy from heaven with plus 9.5 on the Bizarros.
I'm very confident in that pick.
He gets on a little winning streak, and he starts feeling it, feeling good in his soul, as my brother might say. And there's no telling him no. You've been listening to Cast Iron Balls, a podcast with Bob and Abe. Lori's here too. You can find the show on Substack, brainiron.substack.com, for more from us, including the Billboard Hot 100 game, the flagship podcast of the Brain Iron multinational media empire, which is called Cast Iron Brains, and of course, new this week, the Philip K. Dicksquisition, a podcast about the life and works of the one and only Philip K. Dick, the first episode of which is now available to you at brainiron.substack.com. And I must say, I am very proud of what we have done there.
It means he can never listen to it again.
Yeah, if I listen to it, I will no longer be pleased with how it came out. But as of now, I am currently pleased. I put a lot of work into it, and I think it's quite good in terms of what it sets out to accomplish and what it does. So go check that out, brainiron.substack.com. The opening and closing themes of this show were composed by Mark Gillig, tetramermusic.com, Tetramer music.com. For more from Mark. Abe, anything else in the world of sport catch your eye this week?
Yeah, we were just talking about the Utah-BYU game this weekend with a high price admission. There was a 28-year-old man who was arrested because he made violent threats on Twitter. Christopher Jackson Justice is his name. just sharing it on the group chat here. So he goes on Twitter and
He looks like he might be related to Dan Lano.
Yeah, he's
just from the.
By the way,
photograph.
I mean, he looks a little older than the 28 he's giving credit for, but he's got a couple of DUIs on under his belt already. So, anyways, he posts on Twitter, "Any Ute fan I see is dead. Anyone wearing red on Saturday is getting shot." So this is a very specific. This is not like
that's very.
to hell with that other team that I don't like. This is like, if I see you at this stadium, I'm going to shoot.
I thought all of these people were successful, self-owning businessmen.
No, not. They call them He's not Mormon.
Oh, he's almost certainly Mormon.
He's almost certainly not.
Justice. Now, his Twitter handle is interesting. Juice is loose.
Juice is loose 328.
Which is isn't OJ the Juice is loose guy?
Oh, yeah.
Like, what's the connection between a BYU man and OJ? But anyways, he's confronted with it. He tries to deny it, but apparently, these law enforcement people, they have all this information on this guy. He tried to. He texted a friend about denying the threats if questioned. So they already have information on him. Currently, he's at a misdemeanor level, but it may be up to a felony at some point. But poor behavior. You don't have the freedom to say whatever you want on Twitter.
What sort of a world? I thought this was America. You can't get on the internet and threaten mortal violence against your hated rivals. I guess we got to be more careful around here.
I think you just can't make these very specific and pointed threats. Like if he just said, all of those fans should burn in hell, that's free speech. But like if I see you wearing this color, I'm going to shoot you.
I'll put you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little different.
That's a little different. So.
All right. Yeah. Take it easy out there, everybody. Although. So by this logic, though, do you remember remember last year the FSU fan who said that he would eat a bowl of dog shit if
a solo cup full of
cup full of dog shit, and then he deleted his profile and didn't ever eat the dog shit. Like by the logic of arresting this guy for making specific threats against Utah fans, shouldn't we track down the Florida State fan and force feed him dog shit out of a red Solo cup?
There should be keeping people honest act. It should be like a universal law. Like if you make a thing,
laminate your. What do you say?
Yeah,
laminate your principles.
Yes. We had one of the co-hosts on the other podcast, Simon. This is the year before the Braves won the World Series. Like if the Braves were to win, he was going to go streaking down like a popular stretch of road in Atlanta, and that did not happen that year. It happened the following year, but it was only good for that 1 year, so he wasn't beholden to running naked.
Yeah, which is funny because you would have guessed they were more likely to win the year before that than the year that they ended up winning with all of the injuries and having to replace the entire outfield 2 times.
Right. He lucked out.
Is there because Brer Rabbit and the Briar Patch is what I always go to in my head of the lady doth protest too much. And I guess that would be the original one. But it's Brer Rabbit saying, no, please don't throw me into anything but throwing me into the briar patch. And then the wolf throws him into the briar patch. And he's like, yeah, this is where I live.
Right. So what are you saying?
I'm saying
that guy wanted to eat a red Solo cup full of
No,
dog
I'm
shit?
saying Abe's friend wanted to go
Simon
streaking.
wanted to run naked down Ponce or whatever?
Yes.
I think it was Memorial Drive, but yeah. Although it probably wouldn't have stood out.
Really
There's a few unhoused people that are, in various states of undress.
It's not unusual. Abe sees multiple fully nude men furiously masturbating on the Beltline.
They generally are not
3 times a week.
Furiously masturbating. They're just walking around. There used to be a guy that I would always see by the bus stop, and
they're just casually masturbating.
Just
you got any big plans for the weekend, Abe?
I'm going to, watch the games.
Yeah.
Where?
Out to the.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go hang out with the people.
The fellow
at
humans.
the sports bars, yeah. Be fun.
Well, that's good. We've got
Bob's got shit to do. I'm watching football.
I'm still trying to sort out the Little League baseball schedule this weekend. We've got multiple interleague games in multiple different towns, and still trying to get everybody on the same page here. But
how far along in the season are you guys in with this?
I think we're gonna finish.
halfway.
We're gonna finish up the weekend of November 1st.
Georgia, Florida.
First or second.
The Georgia, Florida weekend.
That weekend, I think, is going to be our last weekend of games.
So how much of the Georgia game are you missing this Saturday?
I still don't know. Hopefully
I'm missing none of it.
Hopefully none. I anticipate being home by 3 o'clock, 3:30 at the latest, but there's an outside chance that does not happen.
Okay.
But we will see. Lori, anything else in the world of sport catch your eye this week?
I don't think so.
No? Nothing good on Twitter this week? Where you still hang out?
I mean, are you saying that like you know something I don't know?
No, I'm not.
No.
I'm
I
just
mean,
wondering.
the thing...
I'm not on sports Twitter.
I don't know. I mean, also, you say this week, everything happens so quickly. So, like,
all right,
Kurt
so
Cignetti's...
like in the last 4 hours, besides Kurt Cignetti.
No.
All right, cool.
No, that guy being out for us and then the other guy being out for A&M. That's it.
No.
I don't think anything good happened.
All right, well, it should be a good weekend of college sports action. And, of course, we will come back early next week to talk about it all. Abe, have you got anything else for us tonight?
Nope.
Well, I guess that's all we've got for you tonight, then. And we will talk to you next time.
Later. I hope you haven't spent that $1.
Oh, yeah, not looking good.
Cincy team is they're now up.
14 to 10.
I'm sure it won't hold. You know, you got to trust A-Rod, you know.
Flacco down the sideline, caught! And sliding to a stop at the 6 is Higgins. Brilliant, just brilliant.
There's still just no accounting for what happens on Thursday nights.
Yeah, it's just...
the Giants beat the Eagles.
Yeah. It's just that short week. It's very hard to...
Bengals team with Joe Flacco at the helm going to beat Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers.
Why not?
Flacco, brilliant, just brilliant.
Dodgers officially up 3 games to love here over the Brewers. That's a bummer. Is this NHL stuff? Is this regular season or?
Yeah, I mean they have a similar schedule as the NBA, and so if they started, it's got to be either this week or next.
Looks like they've started, I guess. Maybe we should have you live betting.
That's right.
Fucking hockey. Make some money here instead of just pissing away $5 every Thursday and Monday.
You think I'm going to do better in hockey?
Yeah, the less you know, the better you do.
That is actually true, yes. Although it did not work out for that volleyball. Then
or the soccer.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I'm just not good universal.
How are the Colts against the spread? Maybe we should just be betting the
yeah,
Colts.
no, and I've been staying away from the Colts, just watching them, you know. Just don't want to jinx it.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you, you're not Bifflering again this weekend, right?
No, I probably won't be until that Georgia, Florida weekend, because, like, we're trying to do something next week, but then Binyam is out of town, or out of his town. He's never in town, but, like, so it'll probably be a couple weeks.
Cool. All right. Well, enjoy the stuff.
Enjoy baseball.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Good night. Just catching up to 60 Minutes, the last 2 episodes, and there was one segment on that Guy Fieri. There was some sort of sophisticated online scheme to divert his tequila shipment, like without anyone knowing it. There's some sort of foreign attack. I'm wondering, even though there's no money involved here, the Billboard thing going down and now the Jimmy Carter website going down, is someone attacking you, similar to how Guy Fieri is being attacked?
I'm under constant. I mean, if close readings of Philip K. Dick teaches me nothing else, it is that I am right in my paranoia about everything.
The proceeding was created with 100% human content.